Already laughing. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Digital Demons podcast. We are on episode 30, baby. Big 30, dirty 30. This is a dirty episode. Dude, the election's in 7 days. Oh
Yes.
my God. The election of a lifetime is in 7 days, 1 week.
Yes, it is.
And
I am so excited.
yeah, I'm ready to rip, dude. I can't wait. I can't freaking wait. Just the hype that it has and like the meaning of it being like the most like huge election of our lifetime for sure. I mean, it's not like I'm looking into the future or anything, but like it's a fucking major.
Thank you.
Major. Dude, this shit is fucked. There we go.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is.
Yeah.
I feel like when Trump was first in office, people didn't expect him to be as great. You know?
Yeah.
Like, and
Oh,
he
he's
did
just a TV personality. He knows nothing about politics, this and
not
that.
even a
and
TV personality. He's, he's a millionaire. Like, why do we
a
want
billionaire.
yeah. Like, why do we want a billionaire to run the country?
Because he's a businessman.
He knows how to use his money.
He knows how to run a business.
Yeah, exactly. And America was great when he was in office.
And it's going to be great again when
And
he
the
gets
fact
back
that-
into office.
Yeah, when he gets back into office, oh man, I can't wait. We're going to be getting a new house.
Fingers crossed.
Well, it's going to happen. But
yeah, shoot. So since the last episode, we had Vegas plans. Vegas was mission accomplished, mission executed, and
since he brought that up,
we had a glorious time.
we had a lot of fun. But we're going to go into some Vegas topics now.
Okay,
Are
like
you ready?
what? Like Vegas topics. What do you mean?
So I have a whole list down of everything. So we're gonna start from the start of our Vegas trip to when we came home.
Okay,
Are you ready?
I guess so. Yeah.
So, I have like my notes that I wouldn't remember otherwise. But so anytime we go to Vegas, we leave Thursday morning and we come home the following Monday. Whenever. Okay. Let's start off by talking about how our plan was to be out of the house by 7 a.m.
Yeah, assuming that we would take longer to get there and we didn't really hit any traffic, we didn't do anything. So we got up and we started like putting the rest of the little like odds and ends in the suitcases and doing all that shit, getting Blaze ready because he was staying at my dad's for the weekend, vacationing with his best friend Chaz. And yeah, so we get up, we're like jazzed about going, like, oh shit, Vegas, here we come kind of thing. And I think we just got blinded by the excitement and we were all over the fucking place. Like,
not necessarily all over the place.
Not crazy, but we were just like skipping steps to shit, like little small stuff, nothing out of the ordinary. But we had to come back to the house because I was in a hurry getting shit, packing stuff, and not paying attention.
Well, hold on. So we had everything together, and we go to leave the house, and so, I mean, I'm wearing my eyeglasses now, but I also have contacts. So we leave the house, we go around the corner, and I'm like, oh, I can't find my sunglasses.
Well, that one we didn't even get like barely away from the driveway, so we saved it and we just
like around the corner.
We just busted, reverse into the driveway.
And then not only that, Ryan brought up a good point. He was like, I can't remember seeing any mini that's like our our youngest cat. We call him Itty Mini, Whittle Bitty, whatever. His name is Spanky, but he was like, I don't remember seeing him.
Spanky.
Yeah. So we come back and I go and find my glasses, whatever. And then, yeah, you came back in. I got in the truck, and then he came back in to visually see all three of the cats.
Yep.
So, and Blaze is sitting in the truck with me. So, after like 10 minutes, he sees all the cats. Everything's good. Okay, we go to leave. What happened after that?
I found out that I brought a few red shirts with me, and I didn't bring any red shoes, which I had planned on bringing, and they were stuck in another backpack that I had used on a trip the previous weekend. So like out of sight, out of mind, didn't think about it, didn't see them. They were in a backpack, and then I'm like, God damn it. I have to go back and get these shoes so that way, the outfits look like cool. And then so we get all the way to my dad's house.
I gotta say this. How many pairs of shoes did you already pack with you for this trip after we left the house?
Well, I was I only had the one black pair that I brought
I'm giving him a hard time.
that I was wearing at the time, like trying to get the fuck out of the
Right.
house.
I'm giving him a hard time because I'm the kind of person that I overpack. Like, if I'm going on a trip for 3 days, I'll have outfits planned out. Not planned out. I will have outfits for an entire week.
A pile of clothes that she can pick from.
First of all, I actually packed really well, very organized, but I overpack for everything because you never know. So he had no shoes actually packed. He had the shoes on his feet.
And they would have done fine. It was just me
Absolutely.
being like, it was just me being picky again. So
Yeah.
we dropped Blaze off. We jam back to the house, grab the shoes, throw them in the suitcase, and fucking off we go. Headed to Vegas, and yeah, like I said, I was thinking like, okay, it's gonna take a while, dude. We ripped right to Vegas. We didn't bother stopping at State Line because State Line has been depleted, and there is literally nothing left there. But I don't even know if Buffalo Bills is operational anymore.
It is, but not like, I mean, it's the same as the last time we went.
Yeah, so that place sucks. State Line sucks now.
They just don't get, like, because I mean, both of us did a lot of, like, so obviously we've been to Vegas before. We always celebrate either, as we mentioned the last podcast, we just celebrated 4 years being together. Woohoo! So unfortunately, we didn't get to go to Vegas last year to celebrate our anniversary. But the past 2 years, we either went to Vegas to celebrate our birthdays or our anniversary. So, we, like this year, because we had a lot of time to plan this trip, we each did our own research on things we wanted to do. So, I talked about how, I wanted us to go do this and that. And what did you do your research on?
I don't know. I had like random stuff, but nothing really like crazy at all. I don't like planning. I'm just kind of like, oh, that sounds cool.
Like
Let's
the
do
slot
it.
machines.
Like, well, yeah. I mean, I was just gonna just play on slots the whole time, and that's what I've done for years.
Yeah.
And it didn't really do too good for me this time, which is whatever. I mean,
But
yeah,
yeah,
it's Vegas for you.
we'll get into that. So, yeah, we are driving into Vegas. Ryan's doing great time because I'm a passenger princess. So I'm just sitting there like, I'm so excited to go to Vegas. We stop in
Baker.
Yeah.
Baker's the halfway point.
Yeah, so we stop there, get some gas, get some food, and then as we're getting into Vegas, okay, there's Trump signs everywhere.
Like big billboards, not like just like lawn size ones,
Yeah,
like
no,
big
like
ass billboards.
big billboards, and not the paper kind, like the electronic, like the TV billboards. And when I tell you that Ryan screams his head off, he is it was like the excitement of him getting into Vegas, and we're about to have like the best time of our lives. But like that on top of like Vegas being, or Nevada, Vegas, all of that, everyone being pro Trump.
It was pretty exciting, I'll say. Yeah, I was hollering, just being a spaz, honestly. Like I was driving and it was just like I saw it and I was just like, holy fuck, like you would never see this in on the California side at all. Like it's just not gonna happen. Like you see
Yeah.
people have like, the flags and shit like that, like signs in their front yard. But yeah, they were going pretty hard out there for Trump. There was a lot of Trump supporters out there, and it was cool. It's definitely something you don't see here. So
Yeah.
I was
It
excited
was really awesome.
just for that, and then the fact that we had got to Vegas and we're about to like just chill, like full on chill
Yeah.
for the
No,
next few days.
drink as much as we want, no driving. Like we were just like, all right, we can
Party,
finally chill.
party mode, engage.
Oh yeah. So yeah, so we get to Vegas, and for me, like relax mode finally hit, even though I was a passenger princess the whole time. Relax mode hit when we pulled into the valet line, because we always do valet. Like we don't like just take the vehicle, park
Yeah,
it.
I don't
We're
do the
not.
self parking because
Yeah.
people break into shit, and I'm not trying to deal with that.
Yeah. So we pull in, and it was like just this wait. It was like this to just, oh, this is great. Like we're gonna have like the best time. So we pull in, whatever, get all our luggage put in. Um, I had been doing research on, like, the upgrades you can get at your hotel with like cash tips at the concierge and stuff like that. So we get in there, and instead of, they have the option to do like mobile check in, but I was like, no, I want to see like what kind of extra stuff we can get. So we ended up getting a really awesome concierge, and I slid her some money, and I was like, hey, like we're here for our anniversary. We're checking in. This is our favorite hotel to stay at, all this stuff. So we ended up getting like, we got a great room, great strip view. They have these rooms, what would you like? I don't know. It's like aromatic
Yeah, they
type
had like air
rooms,
purifiers and like what do you call it?
aromatherapy in the
Yeah,
room, like all this extra stuff, which was great.
like
It was
upgraded shower
awesome.
heads and
Yeah,
it was cool. It was
yeah, we
nice.
definitely got more than what we paid for, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Um, and then what
And we
happened?
didn't even have to wait really in a line to like check in because I was like, oh my God, we're gonna get to the damn hotel and then we're gonna be sitting in line for an hour or two waiting to check in. No, dude, there was like three people in front of us and we went right up to the desk pretty much the second we walked into the line. So that was cool. We had like a nice check in because it was Thursday though. So I mean, it wasn't like we get there on like a Saturday and it's like slammed full of people.
It was busy, but not like a Friday or Saturday
Yeah.
check in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
Um,
was nice.
yeah. And then what happened when we got up to the room?
Oh, we get up to the room and you're like, all right, cool, open the door, whatever. And
Now, mind you, real quick, out of the two of us, I've said this before. I'm a heavy drinker, okay? I am just like, let's go. Like, even at night, I'll have a couple drinks, but like, especially on vacation, I'm like, all right, let's do this. Let's get to our room, get our luggage. We had gotten, we got a case of Red Bull. some, vodka we got like a big bottle of vodka, sodas, water, stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, let's get to our room. Let's take shots. Let's go. I was like full on party mode.
Ready to rip.
Yes. I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry.
And so, well, no, you're good. We get to the room and I open the door and then I like walk in and I'm like, okay, this is nice. This is cool. Nice view, whatever. And then I'm like looking around. I'm like, wait a minute. There's like shit still on the table over here. Like there's like cups and water bottles. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, did they even clean this room yet? And I guess what happened was we asked the one of the maid ladies there who was really cool.
She was
We're like, hey,
she was there was our room, then the room next to us, and she was in the room next to. So it was
she was two doors down.
Yeah.
3 doors down, you know, the band. So we get in there and there's like little leftover stuff. Like the beds are made. There wasn't anything like fucked up in the bathroom or anything like that. We were just kind of like, has it been clean? Like I don't know really kind of what the deal is. So we hit her up and we're like, hey, do you know if this room got cleaned or not? And she's like, oh, you know, whatever, I'll clean it. Give me like 20-30 minutes. So we're like, okay, cool. We'll just like chill. We don't have to we don't have to bring our luggage in because we had it like basically stored at the desk. And we just call it up. And so that made it a little bit less stressful. And oh shit. So I ended up just like hanging up a jacket and then we bounced downstairs and we were chilling for what, dude? It was like an hour probably.
I would say like 45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 to an hour. And yeah, we're just like kind of poking around and I'm like, oh, where can I go gamble at? Like I'm fucking itching like a crackhead at this point.
Yeah, so like we went downstairs and we're like, like, oh, let's just hang out. And like my thing is when you go to Vegas, one of the best things that Vegas offers you is free drinks when you gamble. Now, I was like, okay, let's go to the casino bar, and they have the
like the bar top games.
Yeah, the bar top games. And I'm like, okay, cool. We'll put in, however much. We'll put in $20 in here, and then we can order as many drinks as we want, And we ended up getting the bartender was really awesome, and it was cool because we both put money in our machines. I put $20 into. They always have like a cup right in front of you, and so I put $20 in, and we ended up getting like $40 worth of drinks because like we were getting doubles.
And they were comped though too, so the guy was like, "Oh, I'll just pour them." What did he say? I forget what he said.
I was like,
hefty.
Yeah, I was like,
I'll pour them hefty, but they're not gonna be doubles. Wink, wink.
Yeah,
and we're like, okay, cool.
He was so great. He was such an awesome guy, and it was funny because at one point I was like, he had I can't reach my cup right now, but he had like a mug and he was drinking out of it, and I was like, oh, what are you drinking on? And he was like, Diet Pepsi. I was like, oh, you know how to party. And like we all start laughing. And then he starts telling us about himself. And, that's always like the best way. What would you say? Like,
you're going to schmooze with your bartender. You got to like,
you get the best.
Yeah.
You get the best experience when you get to know your bartender.
Yeah.
You don't have to have, multiple conversations, but like, it's cool to make, schmooze with them a little bit. So, he tells us about how he's been sober for over about 15, 20 years, and he was super great. So we ended up getting like 5-6 drinks, and we tipped him $20. But I mean, again, we were getting doubles. I had a Michelada. I had one Michelada, so obviously that's not super good. But yeah, so we were there for 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, and then so we finally get up to the room. It's all good to go, and we get all of our stuff in place, and then it's like party time. So we have a few drinks, just like bullshitting around in the room. We didn't go out and about yet until later on. So we just kind of like took our time, hung out. Like I said, had some drinks, and then later that night we went to the Sphere, which I don't know if you've seen it or looked it up, but it's a sight to behold, man. That shit was insane, dude. Like,
Yeah, that was wild.
yeah,
That was
it's a big ass structure, and it has a like fully immersive like video screens. What in the hell is that guy doing? He's talking. That's what he's doing. Um, and yeah, so like you're sitting in this seat, and it's got like rumbling and like all
tell 'em
kinds of
how we
shit.
got to our seats first.
Oh yeah, well I mean the whole thing in itself is just insane. So you walk in, and like you just immediately look up like, oh shit, like we're gonna have to do something, man. So they have like face recognition when you walk in, and that was whatever. It was stupid. I
Yeah,
don't
that
know
was
exactly
weird.
what that's all about, but
Yeah.
so we get our tickets and everything scanned in, and then we start on our adventure to go find our seats. But first, we had to go get some food because we were like, oh, we've had a few drinks. I don't want to I don't know if this is gonna be like a motion sickness kind of thing. Like, so let's
Yeah.
just grab some food real quick.
Not
So
even that. It was more like the last time we ate was at like
yeah, it was like
11
Yeah,
noon,
like yeah.
and we only had a couple tacos. So it was like, all right, we should probably get food.
Baker Del Taco.
Yeah. So tell them.
So yeah,
How was the food?
we jump in line to get food, and the first thing I'm like, are we getting drinks? So we look at the drink menu, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I look at her, and I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm drinking here, dude. Like premium single shot drinks, like mixed drinks, right? Okay, so your basic, whatever you call it, call brand or whatever. This shit is $55
Yep.
per drink, and this is a single, not a double, a single. This is for one drink. So I'm like,
How much was a double of premium?
it was like,
110.
yeah, well, yeah.
So I mean, like not even giving you like even like a couple bucks.
And they
discount.
weren't free pouring either. These were like those what do you call it? It's where they pour
Jiggers.
and no, well, not even that. They had the caps on some of them that like auto fucking
yeah.
stop like the pouring and shit. So you're just kind of
Yeah.
like, you're getting exactly just that amount for a fucking insane amount of money. So, this little man. So we're like, yeah, fuck this. We'll just get. I forgot what you got. Did you got like a seltzer or some shit like that?
Yeah, I got a regular hot dog and a I think it was like it wasn't a Truly, it was something, it was like a Truly High Noon, something like that, but it was like one of those tall, like the tall cans.
Yeah.
And then you got
I just got a fucking Pepsi and chicken nuggets, dude, or chicken tenders and waffle fries, and I was
Yeah.
like, that'll set me straight. I'm good. Like I don't
Yeah.
need anything fancy. Let's just get this shit. And then we had to go on a fucking straight up adventure, dude, with like escalators out the yin yang. Like we're going up one, up another one, up one, up another one, up one, up another one,
Yeah.
up one, and then all the way to our seats, which were in like the 400s or whatever.
yeah.
Which
Now
were
here's-
still dope ass seats.
yeah.
But this at the same time, you're not just like zooming up one level and then zooming. Like these escalators were probably from the point where you get on to where you get off were at least 30 seconds long. And that's a fucking long ass time. And that's probably on
Yeah.
the shorter end of like the timetable as far as when you get on to where you get to the next level and then you have to walk across the way to get to the next one. Then you ride that one up and you're just like, Jesus Christ, these things are never going to end. But then you look at the place from the outside and you're like, okay, I get it. It's fucking
Yeah.
mega. It's humongous. Like you could see it in pictures in Vegas. And then when you walk up to it, you're just literally just like staring straight up. You're like,
Yeah.
holy
thing is,
shit, this
too,
thing is huge.
So they advertise that like there's things that you can do beforehand. They have a lot of they have like AI robots that you can talk to. We didn't do that because by the time we got there, doors opened at 7. We got there in the door at like 7:10, 7:15, something like that.
Yeah.
The show didn't start until 7:45.
And there's tons of people in there. It's not like it was like completely empty.
bunch.
There was so many people in there.
Yeah. For a Thursday night. Okay,
Yeah.
there was a ton
Shitload.
of people.
Yeah. Shitload of people.
Yeah, so we get there, and when he's talking about like the escalators, like, okay, yeah, you know what, like going up escalators for a long period of time, it's not like going up, if you've been to Universal Studios, like going from the top to the bottom lot, like, yeah, it's long escalators, but there's your normal, like, is that there's your normal escalators, and then there's the sphere. The
Yeah, they're
slope
steep.
to the escalators on these, they were a little bit on the thinner side, but also they were so steep that it was, for me, it was it was really overwhelming. It was really overwhelming.
Yeah, if you're not a fan of heights, it's probably not the place for you to go. But
Yeah.
the thing that we saw there though was called, what was it? Postcard to or from Earth?
Postcard from Earth
Postcard from
by
Earth.
it's a Russian artist, which we'll get into that. I have a lot to say about that, but
Yeah,
yeah,
so
it's called Postcard from Earth.
yeah, so it's like these two people that get like basically,
Well, tell them about the seats, how we got to our seats.
I mean, we just basically walked in. Like we had
Oh,
we had
well-
end seats, so we didn't have to like fucking do the whole move where you're like scooting in between people and like shimmying your way into the middle of an aisle. Like
Yeah,
the
but
seats were nice because they were at the end of
which I
an
specifically
aisle.
made sure I got us seats at the end, which I'm glad that I got us seats at the end and towards the top. Because again, like how I was talking about how the escalator slope going up and down was a lot, going up and down the stairs to your seats was a lot worse.
Yeah, like if you go to like a
So-
baseball game and you see like, oh shit, these are pretty steep. The fucking
Those aren't even
stairs,
steep.
the stairs I'm talking about, the sphere is like double the like incline. It's very steep.
And it tilts, so like it has to go within the structure of the sphere. So it's like going down, it's not your typical downcline.
Incline. Or like
Like
descent
incline
down the stairs.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
There you go. I'm
It's
not a
not like
wordsmith.
your standard. It's so far down that like one, a lot of people that were there were ordering drinks and or already have been drinking. So it's like going down, like it took a while for people to get to their seats because again, the slope, whatever you want to call it, was so far down. Like I was struggling with it.
I had never seen that many people so like nervous or whatever to go down or up a set of stairs
It was
at all. Like period.
it was
ever.
heavy. It was
Yeah.
heavy. I mean, heavy. It was a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot of people there that were just like, God damn, these stairs are steep. Like, this is gonna suck
Yeah.
doing this or that. So, anyways, we get in there, we sit down. It takes like a few minutes for everybody to get settled in, and then they start the show. And I don't know, like, what would you say out of 10? What would you rank the show that we saw?
To be honest, I would say I'm sorry. I would say it was truly amazing, but it was also an eye opener. At least for me, it was an eye opener. So we're gonna give you a what is it called? A spoiler. A spoiler. Okay, so if you plan on seeing, because it's it's something that will always be there, at least for the time being. It's always going to be there. So I don't know what's going on with me. So it starts off, well, it's pretty much a show about people that, that were living on Earth.
Yeah, I'm popular as fuck right now.
It's my friend Stephanie that we visited in Vegas, but we'll get to that.
Eventually, dude. We're half an hour in right now. We barely got to the first few hours of the day, the
Well,
first
you knew
day.
this was going to be a long podcast.
So, yeah.
Anyways, so I guess long story short, because we still have a lot to talk about, it's a documentary that's based on, you
Wow,
know.
windows open, fucking helicopter going through. This is why I was electing to close
Okay.
the doors.
Anyways,
So we sound like we're at a fucking airport right now when we're in our living room.
you just love complaining, don't you?
Yeah, fuck yeah. I love it.
So we live next to an Air Force base and also a civilian air whatever. Back to what I was saying, the whole concept of this show was that people lived on Earth and went up to
Destroyed it.
space because humans destroyed Earth. And so it goes back. So the postcard from Earth is showing the people that went up to space, like, you know, hey, take a deep breath. This is what happened. This is why you're in space. And it talks about how this is how the Earth started out. This is what happened because people ruined it. People kept building and building and building and taking away from the Earth, that there was no longer anything that the Earth could provide.
And it was like in a futuristic setting. It wasn't like, oh, they took off like 5 or 10 years from now. This shit was like crazy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it wasn't anything like.
But it was like this whole thing. You had like elephants going over you, and like they started from like, you know, the sea to it was truly amazing. But it was an eye opener because it started going into the fact that like then the humans started, they kept building high rises and building it higher and higher and higher, and then the Earth just ended up giving up on itself or giving out. So,
Well, because they depleted it of the resources they needed to
Exactly.
survive. So they're like, all right, cool. Like life on Earth is no longer sustainable. Now we're gonna fucking launch off and go to this new place or whatever planet or whatever. And so they get put in like this comatose like state, and then they have to be woken up by machines. And then it's basically like their AI person or whatever, because they have these little like earbud
it's like
looking
talking
things.
to Siri
Yeah.
kind of thing.
And so they get woken up and they tell them like, hey, do you remember this? Do you remember that? This is why you're here now, is because the Earth is like, it's not sustainable anymore. So this is why you're here. And your main goal is to like reestablish life now on this planet, and don't fuck it up, basically, is like, because
Yeah.
if you want to have something that's sustainable or whatever, like just kind of watch yourself and, you know, make good choices. And I don't know. It was kind of like new Green Deal type of material. Like let's save the planet kind of thing. And I get it. Okay. Yeah. You have to take care of, you know, the planet. I get it. It's not like I'm sitting here fucking throwing my trash over the wall into the desert and shit like that. But it was cool. Like the visuals and stuff like that were very, very, very vivid, because you're not sitting in like a regular like movie theater. It's not like an IMAX. It's like if you took like an IMAX screen and then fucking inflated it to be like probably, I don't even know, like 800 feet wide. And then it goes completely up and then over the top of you. So you're completely like immersed in every visual that comes up on there. There's bugs.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And yeah, it's a trip,
It's like this, and only, you know, certain people will know what this means, but imagine you are in, like, if you've ever gone to the movie theater and sat in it's called like 3DX seats. So like you go to the movies and you have like your regular screen, but your seat shakes and stuff like that based on what you're watching. Imagine that, but you're wearing a VR headset. And the only reason why I can say that because I've done both. This lovely man got me a really nice MetaQuest VR headset. Not last year, the year before.
It was right when it came out.
It was like one of the newest ones.
I don't know what's out now, but there's probably some crazy shit out now.
Yeah, but like, so I love my VR headset. So it's like wearing a headset, because I love watching TV on that sometimes, especially like if he has to go to bed. But anyways, but then like the 3DX, when you go to the movie theaters and your seat moves based on what's happening on TV. So that's pretty much what
you're fully immersed in
like
everything that's on the screen.
Plus incredible surround sound. Like nothing I've ever experienced before.
So it was cool. So like I was saying, what would you rate that out of 10?
I would say 8. And the
Okay.
only reason why it wasn't a 10 was because of the steep incline and decline. That's the only reason why I'm not giving it a full 10. However, they did have elevators in the beginning that I didn't notice until we got to our seats. So I probably would have given it a 9, but when we
If you
got
would have used
out,
the elevator.
yeah, cuz like that stuff like messed me up.
Well, I'm
But
I'm pretty sure they only had the elevators available to like people that had like special needs, like wheelchairs and stuff
no,
like that.
anyone could have used it. But at the very end, they completely shut off the elevators for everyone.
I mean, once again though, if you're in a wheelchair, they're not gonna be like, yeah, take the stairs or take the escalator.
Like, yeah, we'll just push you down there.
Yeah, we'll just make you do a 50-50
Horrible.
grind down the fucking handrail. So yeah, we did the sphere, and then we went and walked around for a little bit afterwards.
I was a
And
party pooper. I will say that. I was a party pooper that night because our goal was to get up at like 5:30, get everything packed, be on the road at 7 because I had gotten us early check-in. So I set my alarm for 4:45. I was up at 4. And I was like, okay, there's no way I'm going to fall asleep for a little bit. I stayed awake. So I was exhausted. So
he's
we
got
get
one of your plastic spiders.
Spanky.
So yeah, she conked out a little bit early, and back with the water gun again. Okay, not gonna reach him, but yeah, that's not happening. Anyways, so
It
yeah,
worked.
she ended up going to bed early, and we just called it a night. The first night.
Hold on. We went to bed early, but early was 11:30, midnight. But
Yeah.
he convinced me. We went back up to the room. I had to change shoes because I was getting blisters on the top of my feet. Yeah, so we went up to the room, and I was like, you know what? Fine. So we went and gambled downstairs, and
I lost, and then I was mad, and then we went to bed. And then so Friday,
oh, Friday.
what I don't remember what we did first things first. I think we went and got food, right? And then we like tooled around for a little bit.
So Friday, we got up, and the start of every day for us in Vegas was got up, got ready. Like as soon as we woke up, went, took a shot. Now, mind you, we don't take straight shots. We're not. I mean,
Yeah, like
I'm not about that life. Like I'm too old for that now. So we would do shooters. So my shooter was vodka, lemonade, and a splash of lemon juice.
gross. And mine is just basically Red Bull.
Yeah, vodka and Red Bull. So we'd get ready, and then Friday, we just started. We went and got our monorail.
Did we get that?
Friday, we.
No, we got the monorail the first day.
No, we didn't.
I think we did.
You're right. No.
Yeah, because we went through MGM, and then on the way there, we got a taxi from the Venetian because we went up to
'Cause
Harrah's
my
and
feet
got
hurt.
off there.
That's why.
Yeah. So I mean, even then, like for the whole duration from Thursday to Monday, it was like, what was it, $47 a piece for the monorail tickets, which was not that bad.
Yeah, from
Because you're
Thursday
getting
to Monday.
Usually like a Saturday to Sunday pass, when we've bought them before, have been like $50 a piece. So you're getting a little bit of money shaved off of that, which is cool. And then if you bought them online, it was like you saved like $2 or $3 more. And I just told the dude, fuck it, here, just I need them right now. So we got the hookup on that.
I'll be right back.
Okay. And then so yeah, we just kind of just hung out and did our thing.
We definitely cruised around that day.
Yeah, during the day we gambled a little bit. We went to Casino Royale, which I have always had good luck with. Not so much this trip. I did have a little bit of fun there, winning and stuff like that, but it just, I don't know. I think I overthought the whole process this time. I got way into like um, watching like videos and shit like that on how to like look for stuff, and I got into the head game a little bit of like trying to be the gambler guy, like I guess you could say like smart gambling, but like choosing machines and like looking at them and shit more kind of like in depth. I guess it's not like I'm trying to be like a fucking code breaker or something like that, but like I was like really looking at machines real careful and not just like sitting down on like, oh, I want to play this one and this one and this one and then this one. So I would like hit a couple machines, and then after a few like, after a few spins, I'd be like, oh no, this machine ain't winning nothing. So I pull my money and I would just kind of like walk around for a bit, and she was kind of getting irritated a little tiny bit because she's just like, dude, all we're doing is walking around. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm not gonna sit on a machine and just fucking feed it money. Like, it is what it is. So I was way more choosy this time with the machines, and I still had a good time, but I was trying to do, I think, a little too much analysis on certain ones, and I had like I don't have it in my phone anymore, but I had a whole list of like machines that were more prone to like winning and like the places that they were at. So I was kind of like trying to like zero in on certain spots in hopes that I would like win some money. And we kind of did, like when we went downtown and stuff, it kind of worked out. But yeah, the main spots that I thought I was gonna do good on, like from the past trips, I kind of like didn't really do that good. And that's gambling for you. I mean, it's not like I was thinking I was gonna win millions of dollars. I joke around and say, yeah, I'm trying to win like 50 grand or whatever, but it's gambling. You're gonna probably fucking lose, and hopefully you don't lose too much. So yeah, so we kind of just mobbed around Friday for a little bit, and then we had to meet up with some folks later on that evening, and that was really fun. Getting into that.
Okay, made it back.
Welcome back. So yeah, we did our gambling during the day on Friday, and then later on that evening, we met up with Stephanie and Jason,
Yes.
and yeah, then we had some drinks prior to meeting up with them again, and yeah, once again we went to the bar top at the Luxor though, so we were there chilling, and we had what, like probably two or three drinks, just hanging out there,
Yeah.
and then we met up with them and we went to Play.
It's called Play Playground.
Yeah, Play Playground, and it's at the Luxor, and it's like Dave and Buster's. It's a little smaller scale, but there's no kids there. Like, I don't know, like during the day they let kids in there.
Yeah, apparently they like kids can play during the day, but
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like it's an actual playground, but like
but it's not like jungle gyms and shit. It's not like they have swing sets and shit. There's games that you play and you
okay,
amass
well, hold
points.
on. So there's one of the biggest advertised thing for Playground is it's the poker chips, like the row of poker chips that swing back and forth and you have to go, so that's like one of the biggest ones. Yeah, kids can do it, but they're they're heavy.
They're heavy, yeah.
Like,
So if you're getting hit by these things, you're getting knocked off like the
yeah.
little metal like plank thing that you have to walk on. So you're on this thing, you have a start time, and then you go hit the buzzer, and then you have to walk back through them and end your time. So it's based on speed, obviously. So if you have a fast time, you get a whole bunch of points. If you're slower, you don't
Yeah.
get that many. But the whole thing is,
there's that, like there's stuff that I can't think of anything that kids can do there.
I mean, like the little, it's not really a kid friendly place. You can take your kids there, but a lot of these
Yeah.
things, like obstacles or whatever you want to call them, are geared towards adults. So they're not gonna be for like, oh, let me take my 8-year-old there. Like, your kid's not gonna be able to reach half of this shit
Yeah.
in order to do it.
There's a
'Cause-
room with like all mirrors that has like silver balloons.
Yeah,
But
and
that's
that's-
like a picture.
I wouldn't even call
There's
that
a
a feature
bouncy
though.
room. There's a bouncy room, but it's meant for
Adults.
like silly adults like us to run through and just laugh our asses off.
Yeah, just
Which is
it's-
exactly what we did. There was, oh my gosh, there was a whole bunch of different stuff. we had an absolute blast.
Yeah, it was fun.
We met up with one of my best friends of many, many years, Stephanie, and then she just recently got engaged. So we got to meet her fiance, Jason, and we had a great time. Like, it was
Yeah, it
so
was
much
really fun.
fun. We all four of us, like, I mean, of course, I've known Stephanie for a while, but like, I haven't met Jason. Ryan hasn't met either of them, but we still just had like the best time. Like, it was so cool. If you were ever in Vegas, spend what was it, like $60, like just under $60
Yeah,
per
per
person,
per person.
but you get an opportunity to do one of everything. Speaking of which, do you want to tell them how you pulled a scorpion on the
Oh
wall?
yeah, like there was this thing, and I kind of had like I was kind of sketched on it, looking at it because we had been watching people do it like for a while as we were sitting there because we had a drink there and we're just like watching people do their thing and like okay we'll go here we'll go to there and then we'll try this whatever and so it's like a trampoline that's angled, right? So it's got an angle on it, and then there's this wall that's kind of here. And so the objective is you put this like Velcro suit on,
Mhm.
and it like just kind of goes up into the front. And the goal is to bounce off the trampoline and get stuck on the center of the target or whatever. So you have to jump and then bounce and hopefully stick onto this thing. And so we're watching people just do their thing and cracking up and having a good time. Um, Everybody pretty much goes, and then I went up. Kayla didn't elect to do it, which was a good idea. I went up and did it, and I don't know, dude. I wish I could put the fucking video. I think I'm gonna try to maybe edit the little clip in there of me doing it, but we'll see. So I had this like sticky suit or whatever. It's like a Velcro suit, and first jump out of the gate, I'm like sitting there and I launched to like go like get a good bounce to see if I could jump into this target thing. And the freaking trampoline thing that you bounce off was so soft and it's at an angle too. So I'm expecting it to be like super like have a lot of tension. So I'm gonna fucking just springboard up and stick.
It's not like your
Dude,
typical trampoline that has a lot of tension to it. It's like
I don't know, dude. I've never seen some shit like this, but
it was just really soft.
I hit and I like bounced and like went down like pretty far. I mean, it's not like I like outweighed it or anything like that, but I hit and it sunk way deeper than I thought. And so I had like kind of like braced my legs to kind of spring up, and I ended up like fucking like folding backwards, like and just completely like
Scorpion.
compressing like my lower back hard as fuck. And I was immediately just like, oh fuck, like I just
Yeah, he
dislocated
really.
my fucking back. Like it was bad. Like immediate, just like shooting pain, and I was just like, God damn it! Like I hope I don't have back spasms because of this shit. Like it was bad, and I was like, kind of like, all right, I'm gonna give it a couple more tries, and then I'm getting the fuck out of here. But
Yeah, he still went for it. He was like, the reason why I didn't do it. So my friend, my best friend Stephanie, she went and did it first, and she has long hair, and her hair just kept getting caught in the whole thing. And I was like, okay, well,
yeah,
I wear extensions and they're pricey, so I'm not trying to get my hair stuck in Velcro, And plus, like, I just wasn't about it. I'm not trying to have people laugh at me because of how I'm jumping, which
I didn't really give a fuck. Like I was there to have
which it's different
a
with
good
like,
time.
yeah, like it's different. But I was just like, I was irritated at like hearing all the people laughing because like, it was just like her hair kept getting stuck in the Velcro. Well, no fucking shit. She's got long, natural, like fucking awesome hair, you know? So, like, it was hard for her to get her hair out. And I was like, I'm not trying to deal with all that. So, that's the only reason why I didn't do it. But, like,
And you saved yourself probably a few like
Yeah.
back discs and
but like watching, like, if you've ever watched, oh my gosh, what was it? Rob Dyrdek's Ridiculousness. They always had a excerpt or whatever you call it, like something where they always showed these like funny videos of people doing a scorpion.
Yeah, that was me.
So like the move scorpion is exactly what
Well,
Ryan did.
I didn't fold like that though. I jumped and I stayed straight. It's just
No, you pulled a full on
I went
scorpion
backwards,
move.
but it wasn't like
He went.
exaggerated like that. It was, yeah, I went backwards just because my weight was like not fucking right, and I didn't expect it to be angled. So
It was pretty gnarly, and he was hurting a lot.
so
Which
we finished up with that place, and then we were like, all right, we gotta get to bed because this Saturday was like our main day,
oh yeah.
and we knew it was gonna be a long ass day, so we kind of just called it quits. I don't even think we went back and gambled. Like we just pretty much just went straight to the room and went to sleep.
So actually, what happened was this one's gonna be a little on the longer line.
Yeah, this brace yourselves because we're almost an hour in and we're just barely getting to our Saturday. So
Yeah. Well, okay. So after we left there, we ran into this guy. Like Ryan and I were having a conversation on like, okay, like, do we want to get food? Yes, no. Like we were just having our own conversation. And then this guy that's walking in front of us, he stops and he's like, well,
where are you guys from? Where are you
yeah.
guys going? And we're just kind of like, fuck, like he's gonna be a Klingon if we don't ditch this fool right now. And we're like, oh, we're just kind of just tooling around. Like, I don't know, we're probably just gonna go back to our hotel. And he's like, oh, where are you guys staying? And we're like, oh, we're staying at MGM. Just spit it out, like kind of real quick. And he's like,
That's
oh,
not where we were staying.
yeah,
We haven't mentioned where we were staying, but we weren't staying at MGM.
we were trying to lose this guy, and he was like, oh man, I'm fucking lost right now, dude. I like got separated from my family. Like, I don't know where the fuck I'm going, man. And I'm like, cool, dude. Like, good luck. Like, fucking see you later. So she like plays it off and she's like, oh, I got something in my shoe. And so she stops. And prior to that, like, he was just kind of like, oh, cool. And then he like waited for us for a second and he was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. I mean, like, I'm here right now. Like, I'm with my family. I'm like, oh, nice, dude. Right on. Cool. Like, we're just chilling right now. And he's like, oh, my brother's a UFC fighter, and he's here to fight in the UFC event this weekend here. And I'm like, I automatically look at Kayla, and I'm like,
Because we watch UFC. Like, we
was
know our UFC.
I was like, there's no fucking UFC event going on this weekend. Like, why
Yeah.
are you like this fool is totally fronting like so bad, and
It was weird because, like, once he started saying that, or like, he kept, like, just hanging with us, like, I would stop.
and then he'd stop, and then we
We'd
were like,
walk.
yeah,
and
we
then
were like,
stop. And then finally, when he said the UFC thing, I finally was like, I stopped at this post and I was just like, I just kept being like, I was like, oh my gosh, my feet hurt so bad. I need to relax for a second, like trying to, he seemed like a nice guy, but like you're
was
giving
weird.
us all the red flags. Like
You're
we're
lying.
not, yeah.
yeah. So
It was,
he was trying to tell us that his brother was fighting in UFC event that weekend in Vegas, and we're like, oh, that's cool, dude. See you later. So we
Yeah.
jam back, we go to bed. Saturday we get up.
my favorite part of that whole day, which I hate to say this,
Of what day?
Saturday.
Already? What was your favorite
Oh,
part?
okay. I'm not gonna say it's my favorite part of the day, but one of the more relaxing part of that day is we got up, got ready, we went over to I love New York, New York. Like that will always have a special part of my heart. Since I was a little kid. We went to Tom's Watch Bar, and we go over there because I was like, hey, let's get some food in us before. We don't know if we're gonna get food there, whatever. We go to Tom's Watch Bar, and they had two separate bars. There's the bar that's inside New York, New York, which if you've ever seen New York, New York on the inside, it's meant to look like walking through like,
New York.
but I mean, yeah, it kinda, but so we go in there and the bartender's just opening up the bar, and I was like, hey, are you open? Like, can we sit? And he was like, yeah, totally, and I wish I remember his name. He was so awesome. Keith, thank you. He was super awesome, and I was like, oh, can we? Because you can sit on the inside of Tom's Watch Bar, which is still inside, obviously, New York, New York, but they have a patio that faces Vegas Boulevard. So that place was packed because it was Saturday college football. Where we were sitting at, homie was still setting up the bar. So we sat there. He was like, yeah, you can order food, whatever. We had a great conversation. We ate food.
And then we went to the main event of the weekend, which was When We Were Young Festival.
We've got a lot to say about that.
Yeah, it was, I mean, I don't know. So we get there and it's like 11:40 something, pretty close to 12.
Yeah.
Which was our target time to get there anyways, because Neck Deep was the band that we had slotted for the first like band to see that day. So we got there pretty much like we were walking through the gate, like the last little bit of the gates right as they started. So we're like, all right, cool. No need to rush. We got time to walk over there. We're just jamming, listening, whatever. So the thing with this festival, and I'm going to say it right now, was it's very deceiving. If you've never been to a festival type of thing like this with music, like I know like a lot of people go to EDC or they go to like these mega like
Like I've got my notes.
like whatever you call it,
no.
fucking events. And it's just the same kind of music like over and over and over for 12 hours straight. You don't really, I mean, unless you're into like seeing, oh, I love this DJ, like I'm gonna go listen to the same beat for 6 hours while he just, does his thing. It's different from going to a rock style show, metal show, whatever you want to call it. So from the beginning, I was kind of like, this is going to be packed. It's Vegas. There's a shitload of people here. Never did I think it was going to be that fucking packed. And I didn't really look back on the previous years that they've done the festival there. So I was kind of just going in with like open mind. I didn't want to have any like kind of like conception of the thing, or whatever you want to call it. Like I didn't want to have like this thing like, oh man, this is gonna fucking blow. This is, they said this shit sucked or whatever. So we're watching Neck Deep and we're like, okay, cool. Like Amberlin's coming on. We're gonna go watch those guys, and then Seosin comes on after them.
Before he continues, I've been to maybe 3 concerts before. One being the Jonas Brothers when I was like.
But those
13.
were in venues where you had like a lockdown seat, right? And then you said you went to Coachella?
Yeah, I went to Coachella, and that was like there wasn't anyone there except for like Eminem performed at Coachella, and that was cool. But actually, it was one of those things like, okay, it was okay, but Coachella size wise, like venue wise to where we were at,
and that's more of a party scene anyways. Like nobody's there to see a fucking country group. Like realistically, they're there to get fucking hammered, do drugs, and fucking yeah.
What I'm trying to say is
it's the same spot.
There were less people performing at Coachella in more like a bigger venue compared to the 61 bands that were playing at such a small, it's not small, but when you have 61 bands,
it's a relatively small venue though. Like
compared to
when you look at it, because you had, let me see, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stages, and the thing that I started to get irritated with right off the bat, and like I said, I went in just kind of like expecting to kind of just bounce from here, and then we'll have enough time to go to here, and then enough time to go to here. I will say it was disappointing, and I don't think that a festival that has the kind of headliners that they have, the kind of packed house that they have, if you will, should ever have that many bands slotted for that time period.
Or that many, like if you're going to have that many bands slotted at so many different times, or like playing at the same time. So for example, there was I'm probably not remembering correctly, but you would have Seosin playing at, okay, this actually happened to us. Seosin was playing into the time slot of 3:03. See,
this is how I was going to just simplify this whole thing. My bad.
Sorry.
they have these bands and they're so intent on getting one rifled after the other. You don't have time to watch more than 3 songs from any given band before the fucking next band goes on. And that was where I kind of I started to get irritated at that very moment when I was like, fuck. We watched Amberlin play their whole set because they had enough time before all these other major bands come on, and they fucking slaughtered the venue. They had an excellent show. It's always been one of my favorite bands ever since I was in high school. I grew up with those guys when we were a young festival. Makes sense. So I started getting pissed off because you would be just getting into the groove of these guys. You're like, oh shit, cool. Like they're fucking rocking out, whatever. And then you look at your watch, your phone or whatever, and you're like, well, fuck, now we got to go across here because this band is starting. And then you get to there, and then 5 minutes into that fucking set, another band would come on, and then you'd watch 2 or 3 songs from them. And then you'd have to go over here because keep in mind, this isn't like a closed, like small little venue. This is 100,000 people. And everybody and their mom, literally, quite literally, is piling into these fucking places. And you're just like, well, now I got to watch the band who I really wanted to see look like fucking microscopic beings on stage from a fucking half a mile away because I don't know. It really, really, really fucking pissed me off. And
it was disheartening, especially because I feel like, I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you, but
it was irritating because you don't get that full like immersive concert experience because you're constantly like, well, fuck, we only got 10 minutes. Shit, we got 5 minutes. And they're playing, their songs range from like 2, 3, 4 minutes, sometimes longer than that. And you don't get to really see shit because you want to wrap everything up, but you end up just getting tidbits. So like the whole day probably, and I mean, with exception of the last like few hours we were there, was here. So throughout the course of the daytime, you're maybe watching 40 minutes of music, and then it's on to the fucking, the headliners for the evening, which everybody's there to see anyways.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I was kind of just pissed off at that. Plus the fact that they had hardly, I would say, next to no room to sit down. There was hardly any shade. And I mean, unless you're like one of those like millionaire people that can afford the $5,000 fucking VIP cabana where you have everything catered to you and, people, waiting on you all day long. It's something that you kind of have to really just be like, would I really do this again?
So like from my point of view, being like, so he's seasoned in seeing pretty much every single one of these bands, but that doesn't mean that like, he didn't want to see them again. And we also didn't go into this experience being like, oh yeah, we planned on being in front for every single show we wanted to see.
It's not realistic.
Yeah,
absolutely
not realistic. So like, we were towards the front. We were towards the front for Amberlin, which was absolutely amazing. Matty Mullins was there, because he's now the new lead singer. And then he brought out Stephen Christian, who was the original, but he's doing his own thing now. So Matty Mullins brought out Stephen Christian, and they both were singing at the same time. So absolutely incredible. When we started dating, he introduced me to Amberlin, and like Pabst Blue Ribbon, PBR, is one of my favorite songs from them. One of them.
No, you're thinking of the fucking Amity Affliction, Home Skillet. That's not Amberlin.
What's the one song that
tripping, dude?
Oh, okay. Yes, I am. I'm horrible with, I hear a song and I'm like, oh, I love this band. I love this singer. But he's better on like names and stuff like that. But the song that Stephen Christian came out and sung with Matty Mullins at the same time, what was the name of that song?
I don't remember it. I'd have to go back and look. But
anyways, so we were at the front for that song. Absolutely amazing. Well, for the whole set. Absolutely amazing.
That was the one, probably the only band we saw the entire, from beginning to the very end of their set, the entire fucking day.
Right. And then Seosin came on again.
Like with a view though. That's the one thing with the view.
Yeah. Seosin came on, absolutely amazing.
We watched two of their songs and then went to go watch 303.
I know people are going to think that this is silly, but I've always been obsessed with 303 since I was a preteen to a teenager. That
Here
was
come the troops.
Oh my gosh, all of them. Anyways, I was super stoked, and I told Ryan, I was like, I need to see 303. I just, the one thing I asked. So he made sure to get us to leave from front row of Amberlin and Seosin to go see 303.
Oh, hell no. I know we're not battling right now.
I kind of threw a temper tantrum when we got to 303 because I was like, hey, I wanted to leave earlier to go get good seats, but...
And we had only been 2 songs in Seosin.
Yeah.
And we spent the rest of the time
Now,
walking
mind
around
you-
to the stage to see 303.
Mind you, we both didn't expect so many people to be excited to see 303. That shit was so fucking packed, and it was amazing. 303 all day. So I was like, I went to go through, I was like throwing a fit, and I was like, let's leave. I can't see anything. There's like freaking like this giant beast in front of me. I say
And-
beast, but he was just really tall.
I don't know what it is. I think I'm definitely not alone in this. Like the fucking people that are like 6 foot plus, like get the fuck out of my way, dude.
No,
I'm just gonna
see-
say that right now. Like I can't
blame it.
stand, and I know it's not their fault. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a concert atmosphere. Get the fuck to the front of the stage if you're trying to get a good view. But dude, every
It sucks.
fucking band that we tried to see, lurch.
Here's
lurch.
us.
Fucking tallest people on earth
Everywhere.
standing in front of us, and it's like we could not get a goddamn break the whole day.
Yeah. Which again, it's not their fault. And I was just like, okay, I get it. But I mean, it sucked.
It's
know?
like the
It is
fucking
what
tall
it is.
people convention was in town, and they all got tickets the fucking when we were young. So
So finally, like, we're at 303 and I'm very aggressive. Like, I'm not saying I'm going to be the person that I'm going to, shoulder check you to get through. But like, he finally was like, went in front of me. He's like, hey, we're going to go through here. Respectfully, we didn't like push people off to the side. We just, if there was an open space.
I'm like, hey, go stand right here.
Yeah. So finally, we just went through, and I was finally able to see 303, get great videos, and oh my gosh, the vibe with everyone watching 303 was so much more than I expected, because I thought it was going to be, not like a big crowd.
I didn't either, honestly. And like
It was huge.
they put on a good show. Like I will say, I'm not like a huge.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
never really into 303, but they were big when I was performing a lot, and it was kind of like, all right, cool. Like it's nostalgia kind
It
of thing.
was so amazing.
And it was
I
a good
just-
show. It was a good show.
I ended up going from being Miss Pouty Pants to, luckily he didn't, because I was like, let's go. And he's like, no, we're going to watch this, because he knew how bad I wanted to see them. And oh my God, it was so amazing. It was amazing.
And then we had to get a hot dog after that, or whatever it was, hot Cheetos.
We'll
corn
skip
dog.
past that. I wanted to get a corn dog covered in hot Cheetos.
It's fucking disgusting, dude.
It's not your typical hot dog. It tasted like it was a pancake covered in syrup with a hot dog in the middle. And then like I was spilling all over myself because there was nowhere to sit or stand.
And there's
'cause they
people literally
oversold-
sitting and laying on top of each other like it was
Yeah.
a fucking refugee camp. Like it was
They
insane.
they oversold the tickets. Like I feel bad because we've been talking a lot. We're gonna have to after we talk about Saturday, we'll cover the rest next
Real
week.
quick.
But no, we can cover the rest of our trip because we've got a lot more to talk about for Vegas.
Well, let's wrap that shit up then, because
There's a
guess
lot more to
what?
talk
This
about.
this weekend coming up, I'm gonna try to get my brother on here, and that's gonna be the showdown for the election
it's gonna
because
be awesome. You guys are gonna love Tyler. He's so funny, It's, oh my gosh. Wait till you see the dynamic between the two of them because it's amazing.
I've been waiting a long time, and he did.
Exactly.
And he did promise that before the election he would do an episode. So
He's
I'm
doing
gonna
okay.
I'm gonna coerce him this whole week and be like, hey, don't forget, full like
If I tell him
Saturday.
to come over, he'll come over and he'll do it. Well, he won't
Saturday
come over
we're
on Saturday.
we're getting
though.
down. Sunday, whatever
He'll
day.
come over on Sunday. Well, I'm gonna brief through this stuff because I wrote down notes. You can.
We went through like a whole ass like detailed description like every minute of the day.
Okay.
The other days.
Anyways,
So to wrap it up, not wrap up the show, but
well, hold on.
in short, the When We Were Young festival, what would you rate that out of 10?
6. Maybe?
Okay, fair. That's what I was thinking.
I will say
6.
this. Okay, there was one note that I had written down about this. I complained about my feet hurting the entire because we were there for 9 hours and change.
And my back
We were
was
on our
destroyed from doing that fucking stupid ass.
My feet were
Trampoline.
hurting. Just like I had good shoes, but just we were on our feet so much. We were on our feet on Saturday. Again, my feet were already hurting. He had hurt his back the night before.
Because I'm old.
I mean, besides that, but you're cute though.
Thanks.
I'm kidding.
Ugly ass.
We were on our feet, being there for 9 hours and change. We'll say 9.5 hours. We were on our feet for 8 hours. So my feet hurt so bad. I've never felt that kind of pain before. It sucked. So fast forward, I felt bad because I kept being like, okay, I'm hot. My feet hurt. I need to sit down, but there's nowhere to sit. Everyone's sitting in like no seats were available. The turf. So people were sitting in asphalt at this point. Okay. So I finally said, you know what? I'm not going to ruin this for him because I'm hurting. We work our way towards the front of one of the main stages, and people were like, when I said earlier that I was being respectful and like squeezing like through people if there was space. No, there were people plowing through you to get to the front. I'm like, hey, I get it. Cool. You want to see them, but don't be a fucking cunt about it.
Yeah.
So we had this couple. I'm assuming they're a couple, but
Crackhead looking people.
there was like something going on behind us, and we're towards the front of the whatever it was, like the pink, or I think it was the pink stage,
it was the two of
purple
them.
and pink stage. And there were people behind us saying, oh, this chick's looking for her phone. They've got their flashlights on the floor.
And it's dark by this time too. It's dark.
It's dark.
Nighttime.
So I'm like looking on the ground, and I'm just like, I put my flashlight on. I don't see anything. I leave it alone. Okay, whatever. All of a sudden, this girl pushes past us. She's like, I lost my phone. I can't find my phone. Oh my gosh, whatever.
And she's damn near on all fours, crawling through the fucking audience.
And if she actually lost
looking
her
for a
phone, yeah, if she actually lost her phone, okay, like, yeah, that sucks. She went and talked to security to our right, and security did something, and I don't know what happened with that, but she kept pushing her way towards the front. Now, the douchebag that she was with had a backpack that was this big. From his back's right here, the backpack came out to here. Okay.
Yeah, it stuffed it.
So she's pushing towards the front, and he's behind her, and it's pushing people over, knocking people into each other. And at one point, I finally, because he was like in front of me, because we were towards like the fence area, or not the fence, but
The
like
rail.
the rail. And at that point, I was like, you know what? Forget this. Ryan's like, I'm here. Ryan's like in front of me, but the guy's like right here. I put my arms up, and I'm like pushing my elbow to push him forward, because I'm like, get the fuck off me. Like, again, I understand we're in a overpacked, concert, but I'm like, don't bring an overpacked backpack, dude. Like, it was so irritating. So that's pretty much it. I eventually was like, I need to go sit down, and we left about an hour before.
We
We
left.
left right at Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, we watched A Day to Remember, and at that point, it was so packed. Like we were like maxed out. So we sat down,
Overly maxed out.
and the stage was actually behind us, and we watched them on like this fucking digital, like video screen pole thing or whatever. So that was that. Kind of fucking irritated at the whole festival setup thing. And then they had the nerve today to fucking release next year's. And it's basically all the same fucking bands plus like a couple. And it's like, dude, I'm never again not doing festivals again. I will go absolutely to like an individual tour and keep doing that thing, even though it's been a while for that. But I don't know, man. Like even the whole Warp Tour thing that's coming back, I don't even know if I'm gonna do that, dude. Because at least those they have them scheduled out. Like they know what they're doing. Like Kevin Lyman and those guys have been doing it forever, so I think they have a better grasp at how to kind of do that. But with Warp Tour, when it was the full schedule, everybody was in a different slot every day, so you had to just get there early. Like that was the only kind of like rule. Get there early because whoever fucking headlined last night could be the first people that go on today. So just get there early, and that was the only kind of stipulation. Other than that, like it was cool doing that, but I don't know if I'm doing the whole Warp Tour thing based off of how the When We Were Young festival kind of went down. And yeah, it was more disappointing than anything, just because like you don't get the whole like, oh yeah, we saw all these guys set, we saw that guy's, everybody this and that and this and that, and it was just kind of irritating. And but I mean, it was an experience, so I'll just take that for what it's worth, and say that we've been before, I guess. But so yeah, we ended up going out after that, raging till the wee hours of the morning, and then
There's still so much more to talk about. We've been talking now for almost an hour and 20 minutes. I mean, we can keep going or we can continue on.
yeah, I mean, fuck it, dude. We're already here.
Okay. So,
But you got to give a short synopsis, like here to
do.
here to here to here.
Thank you, Spanky, for having my back. You told me to write these notes down,
Well, yeah.
and I did. So the next thing that I have on my list is, so that was Saturday. Sunday, we get up and again,
Do the same thing.
Wake up, take shots, go explore. We we go back and forth. At this point, like Ryan really wanted to go to Fremont Street because he was doing his. Let me backtrack for 2 seconds.
My detailed gambling, and it didn't work. I already went over that.
Anyways, Saturday night when he had mentioned that we went out, I had been wanting to try table games for the longest time. So Saturday night, I played my first table game, which was roulette. We were going back to the hotel room, and I said, you know what? Let me just put some money on this table. Let me try it. And the pit boss and the I keep forgetting
Just your table
the dealer. The dealer, both were super awesome. The pit boss was like, this is called beginner's luck. Like, this is amazing. So that, like, I kept wanting to go out, but we ended up getting back to the hotel room Saturday, into Sunday at like 4 a.m. We stopped for some pizza slices that were bigger than our heads. No, we got back at like 3:30, went to bed by 4:30. Back up at on that Sunday morning. Again, we go out again. We go around a bunch of places. We got to take pictures with some parrots. That was really amazing.
Yeah.
That was actually really awesome. We make our way towards Casino Royale. Now, mind you, this whole trip, I don't ever have good luck with gambling, but this trip, I did amazing with gambling. So we went back to Casino Royale, saw our normal pit bosses that were there. They said hi to us. It was awesome. Ryan was so focused on gambling that he left his cell phone at one of the machines.
Yeah, I mean, because at that point too, we were already like pretty far in like drinking wise. So I was like grabbing all my shit, making sure this was cool. Got my like little cash out voucher, and then I just jumped over to another one, and I was like, oh cool, I'm gonna get comfortable on this chair and start playing. And I was like, oh fuck, like I don't have my phone, and I had left it on a machine. Like
He looked at me and he was like, "Do you have my phone?" Because I was holding a few things for him in my purse, and I was like, "No, I don't have it. Like I don't have it." So he freaks out. I'm at my machine. He's at his machine. And I'm like, okay, let me guard these, Luckily, he finds it.
It was scary.
Yeah, that was...
But it was only like maybe 20 seconds, 30 seconds in reality.
Either way.
It felt like it was a long time.
Yeah.
But didn't lose my phone.
Luckily, he didn't lose his phone. So, at this point, we're kind of like at the point where we're like, okay, we're going to wind up the night. We have to get up Monday to go and go home. And then I go and I had taken his cash out voucher from the one machine to another. And I pull out the one and he goes to put it in the machine and it's not working. And then he hands it to me and I'm like, oh my gosh, this says the D, which is from Fremont, because we were at Fremont earlier in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So we finally made the decision. We're like, you know what? Because it was $70. It was one of mine. And we're like, you know what? Let's go back to Fremont. Let's see if we have better luck. And that's where Ryan became a table gambler.
Yeah, I was like totally over the whole like let's try to figure out the machines game.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I had one because when we were there earlier in the day, I hit like a jackpot. It was like
he won a couple jackpots throughout the whole trip.
$400 and I was like, all right, this is cool. But then we ended up going and gambling more and ended up fucking all that money off. And then, it's Vegas. What are you gonna do? So I mean, I was a little bit on the perturbed side. But then we started playing roulette and that shit turned into a fucking time warp, dude. Like we were on the table for 4 hours and we both bought in for $100 or whatever it was. I had played down to 17 and luckily these fools that were on the edge of the table kind of put us on game because I started making my money back and then I was like, well, fuck it, dude. We're rolling now. So I put another $100 in and I ended up losing only like maybe like $60, $65 or some shit like that.
But it was just so like it still is like exhilarating to me because we were there for 4 hours. The cocktail waitress.
Oh fuck.
Oh man, I told her I was like, hey, if you keep bringing us doubles, like, you know what? We're gonna keep giving you. I mean, what you're supposed to do anyways. But
yeah, we
I
just
was like,
handed
we're
her
gonna
money.
take care of you every time you come back.
We just handed her money at one point, and we're just like
every 10 minutes, we had 2 double vodka cranberries, and people kept coming up to the table with us, and we had we had good seats at the table. The dealers were absolutely amazing. Okay,
yeah, they were cool.
Like we tried doing the roulette tables earlier in the day on Fremont, and they were horrible. But these girls,
well, you did. I didn't play yet.
Oh,
and I
that's
told
right,
you to get your shit out of there because I was like, this motherfucker's hustling you up. Like he's trying to get you to like speed gamble right now.
Yeah, which sucked because I still am an amateur at it, but like these girls were so awesome. There was Caitlin and Brianna and Yulian. We weren't the biggest fan of Yulian. She was cool, but didn't speak a lot of English. But Caitlin and Brianna, these girls, like, they were answering my questions, even though, like, there were people at the table. I wasn't holding up the table per se, but they would answer my questions. And I learned a lot about roulette that night. And that's why we were there for so long. I pretty much almost tripled my money.
Yep. You were murdering the table.
Caitlin, twice, I had asked her, I was like, hey, is it allowed if I give you my minimum bet, if you deal it for me however you want, here it is. And she was like, yeah. she does it for me. It was $15 minimum bet, and I won like $68 or $78 off of 15 because of her. You know, and again, it's all luck kind of thing. So it was just so much fun. Brianna came around because they rotate.
The tables were fun though.
It was so much fun. I would be like, oh, Brianna, pick a number for me, or even or odd, pick a color for me, you know, whatever it was. And I just like, it was awesome.
You got put on game is what that's
Yeah.
called.
But we almost like went to bed early at like, you know, 9, 10 o'clock, but at like 8, 9 o'clock, but instead we were there for 4 hours.
Yeah, we went
We had
deep that
probably
night.
about 10 drinks each, 9, 10 drinks each.
Something like that.
Yeah. And most memorable moment of my life, I will say. It was, I know it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but it was so exhilarating. And all the people that kept coming up and were like, oh my gosh, yeah, like, you know, and like us for other people too, you know, it was just,
It
and
was a good
people
time.
betting off of each other. It was, oh my gosh, it was awesome. Yeah, so we got back to the room at like 12:30, 1, almost 1 in the morning.
I was gonna say I thought it was later than that because we stopped and got pizza again.
Yeah. No, our stomachs were, our eyes were bigger than our stomachs because we were like, yeah, we're going to go get those pizzas again. Now, these pizzas were like
They were huge.
huge. So we both got 2 slices of pizza, $50. Okay. It was so expensive. I ate one because I ate a half of each pizza because I got like a ricotta and spinach pizza and then a pepperoni. And you only ate one?
Yeah, because I was like too tired and
They were
like
really greasy that night too.
yeah.
Yeah, went to bed, got up at 9, had to check out early, still went back to Tom's Watch Bar. I drank. He was driving, so he didn't drink. And I think the last part of this would be
You having to compulsively gamble some more before we walked out the door. And
Okay.
I was like, okay, I gotta pee before we hit the road. So
no. Hold on. We're going to backtrack real quick. We always hit one machine before we leave. So I said, hey, we got to do this real quick. I put money in. I put $100 in, won $78 off of it. So I came out with $178. So won that. We left New York, back to where we were staying at. Then what he was talking about, I had to pee. He hung out. He had to pee, and there was a machine right next to the men's bathroom. So I sat there, put money in, put $20 in, won $40. All before, like, from the time he went in and came out, I had won $40, cashed out, and he would have never have known had I had told him.
yeah. And
Vegas was so much fun.
And then it was the drive home, and that was it. I mean, Vegas was like plenty this time. It was fun. It was a good trip. Little disheartening with the festival, but you know,
Yeah.
that's one of those things you don't, like I said, I would have rather gone in there and had the experience that we did rather than go in there and just be like automatically like, oh, this is gonna fucking suck, dude. Like
Yeah.
now we know.
Unless you're
kinda
doing VIP, but again,
Yeah. Unless you're balling and you can do VIP.
I kind of want to see what the VIP prices are on November 1st.
No, why not?
The VIP cabana
It's
is
probably
worth
like
it.
$6,000.
But again, they don't have the prices for it, so we'll see. I mean, not saying that it's an option for us because, like
Definitely
you
won't
said,
be.
but the views that you get from the VIP cabana and like all the options that you get are awesome. But I don't know. That was it sucks for the people that are using the money that they can barely afford the general admission tickets as it is, let alone.
A general admission ticket for that thing is like $1,000 basically.
Oh,
Well, for two.
yeah, which that sucks. Like,
It's so overpriced, so
Overpacked.
way over the top, oversold. And then they have the nerve to fucking print merch with fucked up spelling on the t-shirts.
Yeah.
That was a whole nother thing, dude. But
Yeah.
like overall, I don't know. I'd probably say maybe a 5 or 6 out of 10, based off of the other like festivals and shows that I've been to before. But yeah, Vegas was good to us. I think I didn't lose too much money, which was nice. I won a bunch, put a bunch back, just in the spirit of gambling and taking risks and such. But it was cool. Had a good time. Glad we went. Had a good anniversary / 2 birthdays / fucking whatever. Wow, it sounds like you guys are making out over here in my fucking ears, dude.
Cute.
But yeah, that's Vegas for you in a nutshell.
Oh, we had a great sushi or
Oh yeah, we did do
Brazilian.
yeah, we did sushi samba.
That's our our place when
It
we
was.
go there.
I didn't really think it was that great this time.
Oh, I thought it was amazing.
It was.
But-
It was like. It was
Hey,
okay. It was all right.
sit.
Not bad. But yeah, for Vegas being Vegas, I think we did got the most out of it as we could. I mean, we were romping around and hanging out and shit, doing all kinds of shit all over the place.
Yeah.
And there's like little in between stories too that we just can't pack all into one thing. But yeah, I'd say overall Vegas out of 10. What would you say? The trip overall out of 10. What are you gonna rank that as?
Oh my gosh, like more than a 10.
Okay. I'd say the same. It was fun.
We had people. Well, when I went to the bathroom, we had some Canadians ask Ryan where to get some booger sugar.
Well, no, they were originally looking for weed, and they're like, "Well, we're looking for some more now." I'm like, "Do you have any cocaine?" I'm like, "No, motherfucker. Like, I know. What do I look like? I mean, I don't know."
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were when I came out, the more sober one that I ended up talking to. We were talking about fishing and and unfortunately Ryan got stuck with the blackout drunk person.
Yeah, and
But-
I mean, it was still cool though, because
yeah, they were both really nice.
He was telling us like our elections need to go good, or else the world's gonna be fucked, and I was agreeing with him, and it was a cool like little convo. But Vegas was dope. Like I said, we're gonna try to get a special edition election podcast going this weekend.
Yes.
That
Like I said,
will.
you guys are gonna love Tyler. He is.
If I have to put him in a fucking headlock and drag him over here, I will.
I'll just be like, hey Tyler, I'm gonna pick you up. We're gonna come over for a little bit.
But he did make the promise to do it before the election, and as we all know, it's a week from now. So next Tuesday we'll be deciding the country's fate,
Yes.
and we're gonna dive more into this shit. Hopefully this weekend, and yeah, just get down to the fucking brass tacks of it all. My brother is like super into this shit, so be on the lookout for that. I gotta clear my memory card, dude. This shit is like almost out, and I know that one's gonna be packed full of shit. So gotta get that cleared out. Have enough room for the grandiose one so far. But for episode 30, this is basically just our Vegas recap. We didn't get into really anything else, which is cool because we had a long vacation, which was well overdue. Wow.
That
Okay.
wasn't me.
And yeah, so we're gonna kick it right there, I think, for this episode. Go grab the episode on Spotify, on YouTube especially, and Apple Music, anywhere you listen to your podcasts at. Hit me up on Instagram, digital_demons_podcast. Yeah, you can find us on YouTube at just Digital Demons Podcast. Yeah, man, I'm gonna try to get this thing done and edited and stuff like that. So I'll probably end up putting it up tomorrow, which will be the 30th, and be on by Halloween at some point, or maybe tomorrow night. I'm hopefully tomorrow night at some point. So anyways, before the weekend shows up, Halloween will be on Thursday. So hopefully you guys are staying safe. If you guys are going out, hopefully you guys have a good time with the kids. The kiddos get to do their thing, get lots of candy. And be safe if you're out trick-or-treating, because Lord knows people like to go party, do their stupid shit. So yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks to everybody that's listening and watching on YouTube. And yeah, much love to everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Peace out.